And we're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pantelis Podcast. It's Friday. This is our new Friday thing that we're going to be doing here. I'm going to be bringing different guests every week, or else I'll just be alone. My guest this week is a stand-up comedian and the man who is behind my Pantelis is Better Than You tour, Emile Khoury. Welcome, Emile.
Hello. What's up? Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you, Emile.
It's a pleasure.
Is this the first podcast you ever do?
This is actually, I did the Bourgo podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Once, and I think this is my third podcast that I've been on, but it's a pleasure here, man. You guys have a sick studio.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And there's in the corner, there's that goblin Poseidon. Welcome.
Nigeria.
Well, you can say something else.
No.
That's a good way to start it.
By the way, I really like your boots, bro.
Thank you so much, man.
That's not weird.
Should I show them on camera? No,
Where'd
let's
you
keep
get
it.
them?
Let's
Just
keep
lift
it
your
on
foot. Lift your
Keep
foot.
it a mystery.
Yeah,
Keep
let's
it. Lift
we'll
his
keep
foot.
it
He's
a
not
mystery.
you.
You guys tune in until the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff Poseidon would do. Let me lift my foot, bro.
Bro, my boots, bro.
That's 100% a Poseidon move. Bourgo, I did the podcast a couple of months ago with him, and he's putting it up this Sunday.
He's putting it up now, okay.
Yeah, and he asked me to write a comment on YouTube so he could pin it.
Pin it, yeah.
And I wrote, Sebastian Bourgo has never met me. This is a deep fake video. And he pinned it.
That's amazing.
That's good. Yeah, it's funny.
That's amazing.
I thought he would enjoy it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
He said this is a deep fake. Anything he says in this video, it's all him. It's fabricated.
100%.
So, dude, you're working on fucking organizing my tour right now. How the hell is that
Yes.
going?
So we're planning it. So as you know, we've started organizing this a couple of months ago. We had a sick show in Quebec City.
Yes.
Which you've gotten back to the people, told them your feedback about the show?
Yeah, and people who watch, there's people that watch that came to the show. So people know it was a good show.
You have diehard fans, by the way. I just have to say it off the top because Poseidon was manning the door, and you would have people walking up the stairs to the venue, and people would just see you, and you see their eyes light up, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, this is Poseidon! I've seen him. Yeah, this is
Fucking
Poseidon."
2 drink minimum. Now it's like a whole new universe that we're building. So we're part of, we're adjacent to the Opie and Anthony universe because of the whole compound media and all that. But it's like we're building our own thing.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like we're building our own thing on our end and with Mike. So it's like an ecosystem where people know Mike, me, Poseidon, Jan, Michelle, all that. Like it's a whole thing that Mike started that is growing.
And you know what's beautiful about this? We were talking about it before the podcast. It's a bilingual thing. It's not just Anglophones. It's not just Francophones. You have people. You have Quebecers who would not be accustomed to, let's say, English podcasting English content.
Yeah.
That started. I work with a guy who lives in Saint-Adèle. Okay, and this guy barely speaks English.
I like Saint-Adèle.
And he's like, "Hey, I went to the Mike Ward show in Saint-Jérôme, and I saw this guy Pantelis at the beginning of the show, and I loved him so much. I listened to both the Sous-Écoute episodes, and he's like, I listened to 2 Drink Minimum now.
You see
and
that
he does
shit?
not
Yeah.
consume any English content, so
God damn.
I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty sick that you guys are being able to like pierce through this.
Mike
market.
Ward is literally bringing English Quebec and French Quebec together.
Yeah, actually, you know what Mike's doing, which is funny if you think about it, because of 2J, what's going to end up happening is because if you look at Canadian podcasts, like nothing's going to compare to like Sous-Écoute and all that. So what's going to end up happening now is if a lot of the French Sous-Écoute fans start jumping on the 2 Drink Minimum bandwagon, then all like podcasting roads in Canada are going to lead through Mike. Like it's all going to be, it's all going to be in Quebec. It's all going to be in Quebec.
100%.
That's such a funny thing to happen though. Who would have thought that's where like podcasting would be, like the hub in Canada would be Quebec?
Exactly.
It's fucking amazing.
Especially for English podcasting, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we've been setting up the tour for a couple. We booked Quebec. We have Sherbrooke that's booked for April, and we're setting up now for next year. Which for the people in the rest of Canada that are listening and Poseidon, get ready. We're going to be touring. I feel like we're going to be getting a couple of gigs next year that are going to be pretty cool gigs.
Yeah, he's looking at different cities, different venues, and also going back to certain places like Quebec, but in French. So
That's going to be a great challenge for you next year to start setting up that French material, because I've seen you perform in French once. I've heard about you performing in French also, and I've been telling you, like, as much as you can push it, we should.
Yeah. People have been telling me the same thing, so I'm going to do it.
You should definitely go. So we have a couple of cities: Winnipeg, Kingston. We're gonna go back to Ottawa now, set up with the hour.
Nice.
Hamilton, we're looking into it. Toronto also, which should be getting confirmed within the next couple of weeks. So you're gonna be pretty busy.
Fucking Emile, bro. I trust him.
We're gonna be pretty busy. I feel like we clicked from the get-go.
Yeah.
And after that first experience in Quebec, which it was fantastic.
fun.
Yeah, well,
It was
I'm
really
going
fun.
the
It was
Mike
fantastic.
Ward route because Mike also what he does is it's all within like he promotes within like the inner like he lets people grow and do stuff and show. He's not like, oh, I want the guy with the big resume. he likes to grow internally. Like all the Suzuku people, it's all people organically that grew. Same thing with me. So I find people that like you, when I asked you at first, you were super nervous. You're like, I never organized a tour. It's freaking out. But you produce shows all around the city. You've been technically doing the work on a smaller scale for a long time.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you don't do it now, get the opportunity, then.
No, it's cool also because on top of producing the show, I get the experience to open for you, which practices my English material. Which is something I've been focusing very hard on since August to work on that. I want to get my hour ready in French within the next year, but also starting getting more and more material in English in case any opportunities arises. But
still will.
Just step by step, it's just through working. But that production side, which doing it locally is different when you go on the road. Yeah. But it's small things like we got to Quebec City and 10 minutes before the show, you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe this lighting should be better here. Maybe we should put the microphone here, tone down the music, get ready. And that's the production experience that I got in Montreal. I feel like I can translate it. And there's no better, like as a comic, one of the things that we want to do is fucking travel with comedy. So I get to get that experience.
Plus, you're traveling with cool people because I bring Poseidon on the road with me.
It was a fun night, man. It was a fun night.
Yeah, I have videos that you. By the way, I haven't released the videos yet of Quebec because what I'm gonna do is, and I forgot to bring the GoPro today, Poseidon. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get a lot more footage, and I want to release more instead of like views of a simpleton one time. I want a long video which kind of shows the progress.
Yes.
I think that'll be more entertaining.
Yes, a couple of videos throughout the year,
throughout
like the first 3 months.
Yeah.
And then what became of this, and then you have the Just for Laughs period around the summer, which
like a series.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
I think it'll be more exciting for people to see the evolution. Yeah. They'll see your face grow. It'll
grow. You mean slim down because of the AIDS?
You're gonna slim down, yeah. The AIDS is gonna help with that. I'm sure that when people watch this, or if they're watching now, they're definitely talking about the jacket. Isn't that a different jacket?
Yeah.
Well, how many fur fucking lace jackets we talking about here?
2.
But this one's not new.
No.
What happened to the other jacket?
It's being repaired.
Oh no.
Repaired?
Did you?
Adjusted.
Fuck the sleeve of your favorite jacket again?
No, what happened was the lady she thought it was broader, so she left too much inches at the shoulder on top.
Yeah, but you're like, bitch, I don't work out.
So she had to take away an inch. So I brought it back to her.
Was it when she told you I gotta take away an inch? You're like, I only have 1 inch to work with in the first place. Did you say that?
But under this fat is hiding 8.
That's how it is. The more weight you lose, the bigger your dick comes. It's amazing.
Yeah, apparently.
It's a great.
So imagine my whole life I got a 9-inch dick, but it's only 1 inch because of the pubes and the fat.
How many pubes are you talking about, bro?
Like a lot of pubes, bro.
If you're hiding that many inches,
bro. Weapon of mass destruction. Bro.
Jesus Christ, I feel sorry for that girl in Quebec.
Did you ever follow up with her?
What's funny is actually that's not true because in Iraq there was no weapons of mass destruction. So if that's what your dick is, that means you're hiding nothing.
Exactly.
You're hiding a fabrication. Dick Cheney lied about your penis.
I want America to come and swoop in and fucking kill
grab
this
your
shit.
dick.
This fucking guy.
He's a weirdo, but we love him.
That's fucking Poseidon. And you were. It was as a first experience. I'm looking forward to next year because you guys are fucking savages. I've heard so many stories on the road going there.
Oh yeah, you get to learn a lot about us.
That's true.
It's crazy because I listened to a couple of snippets here and there from the podcast, and then we're on the road for 3 hours going back and forth. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? There's life experience in this room right now. Yeah.
This is why sometimes if people have never heard a podcast, like never heard 2 Drink Minimum or anything, and they'll spend some time with us, then they're like, fuck, this is why people listen to the show. This is because it's different than just the shit we've lived through. Yeah. And most of the times we didn't even get to talk about it because I let him roll with his week.
This is just you let him roll.
Yeah, just that.
Let him roll about that week. And then when we get the opportunity and we talk about the past, whether it's me, him, or Mike, it's always something that to us we're like, oh, this happened, and we're fucking around. And then you look at the comments, they're like, are you guys insane? Who the fuck lives like that?
And who the fuck enjoys these stories?
Yeah.
Sometimes my drive from Tim Hortons to here, I'll have a story, bro. Something will happen.
I feel like just by the fact how so it was beautiful because I was in the back seat and I was looking at you guys just driving there. It felt like I've heard, yo, I'm gonna fucking park this car and beat the shit out of the guy in front of me maybe 1,000 times. Every time someone would even put their would turn right, why the fuck is this guy turning right? I'm about to throw a bottle outside of my fucking window.
Drive up next to him, what the fuck? What the fuck?
And Pantelis just strategized. We're driving in a straight line, by the way. Nothing's happening around us. And I feel like you guys have your eye out for anything. That can happen. Yeah, and that comes from childhood trauma. You can't have a regular childhood and just drive to Quebec City, which is a straight line pretty much. There's not much happening, but
we only notice when other people are with us and they comment. We never feel it's weird. And then someone's with us and like, are you okay? this is nothing to freak out about. Calm the fuck down.
This is just, and I love it because every single time something will happen, without skipping a beat, both of you at the same time would fix your jackets as if you're about something's about to happen. Yeah, I'm just looking around, and literally there's no one around us. You're just like, okay, shit's about to go down. Get ready. So,
well, did you see what happened here? Was in the news last week, right here on the 40. Someone, like a few blocks down, someone cut someone off, like a truck. Cut off a guy, and a guy was pissed, and he drove next to him and shot up the truck, and then he drove off, and here, and they can't find him, but he didn't kill a guy, he just shot the truck, said fuck you, don't cut me off, and then people were like, oh my god, I can't believe he shot, and the second I heard the story, I was like, that's fine.
That's justified.
I was like, is the guy dead? No, he didn't even hit him, he just hit him. I go, that's fucking great.
Got the message.
Don't fucking cut people off, bro. Cut people off on the right, don't do that shit. So, and then people are like, what? Nobody's reacting like this, everyone's freaking out about this, you're the only one who says it's normal behavior. I was like, yeah, he didn't kill the guy. Taught him a fucking lesson.
Just taught him a lesson.
Yeah, he didn't even hurt the guy.
Insurance is going to cover it for the fucking tires.
He spooked him.
He spooked him a bit.
He spooked him.
What's in here too? How many times this week? Today, somebody on Boma. Today I went to pick up my mother to bring her for groceries, and someone while she's in the car, it's green for me, it's red for them. You know, when you're going on Boma towards Metro and there's a lackady, and I'm driving straight. The guy decides, fuck it, I'm turning left on a red, and he came right in front of my car. I had to stop and honk.
You know what I think it is? I think it's just people are so fucking unaware of their surroundings.
They can't see it's a fucking red light.
Yeah, because we're hyper aware.
Yeah.
Right?
Too aware.
Yeah.
That's it. Way too aware.
But I think everyone else is a lack of awareness.
Yeah.
They're just like willy-nilly.
But it's also not good because I think that's going to stress us out in the future because no one else is walking around or driving assuming that someone's trying to kill them.
But I feel like that's 100%.
That's 100% us.
You're just there and you're anticipating someone either shooting at you or it's
This morning I got a knock at the door. It was 9:30 in the morning. The door knocks. Me and the dog both freak out. I'm ready to fight. Okay, I'm like, who the fuck is at my house at 9 o'clock in the morning? So I'm freaking the fuck out, bro. They dropped a package off from Amazon because
you were expecting it.
Yeah, because it was too early. Because because I got a thing for Mike and I was waiting for it to come in. It was delayed. So. But my first thing was, I'm gonna motherfucker, I didn't invite anybody here. And nobody rang the fucking doorbell. How'd they get in the fucking building? And I was super aggressive and ready to fight someone. And the guy's like,
thank you very much.
Yeah. How crazy that is. I understand it's not normal. I understand now that it's not normal, but I don't know how to break out of that.
Well, this is why I take CBD, is to bring me down from that.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know if I want to start doing that. But even when in restaurants, when I'm eating, I take anything I'm doing. If you ever see how I sit, I can't let people be around behind me. I have to have a wall behind me so I can see you, so nobody can sneak up behind me.
That's such an old Greek Armenian thing.
So
of like,
crazy.
Well, when I was in Quebec City, we went for breakfast with the girl, and I sat down, and she's like, "Where do you want to sit?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna sit right here." She goes, "Why this table specifically?" I'm like,
"Because nobody can sneak up behind me."
I go, "Nobody can come behind me." I go, "We're not in the corner, so I'm not backed into a corner, and I got a wall behind me, and I can see everyone and everything."
Such a Greek
and
thing.
She's just staring at me like this. She's just like.
Yeah, no, that's my girlfriend's uncle is Armenian. It's these typical things like you sit in a corner because the Turks attack at 70 degrees. That's it.
Well, same thing in the street. If somebody comes up to you in the street, if somebody comes up to you in the street and there's too many of them, what you do is you put your back against the car. You lean back so they can't come from the sides or behind you.
Swing,
and then you got.
Because what I love about your approach is a lot of people will try to prevent these things from happening. You guys are aware. You guys are aware that you're going to take a knife to the stomach, but you need to find out how you're going to be able to punch back. You're like, okay, I'm getting into this. I'm going to get stabbed.
Yeah.
How am I going to bounce back?
Yeah,
now?
exactly.
So then you lean on the car and then you start swinging. But people are going to run. You're like, no.
Yeah, because if you run, you're fucked. You turn your back to them, they'll get you. No, you don't give your back up.
It's like the jungle, bro. You can't turn your back to a lion or a tiger, bro.
That's it.
Or a hippo.
Or a hippo.
Fucking hippos are savages.
Yeah, bro. Hippos murder more people in a year than fucking, I don't know, Mexicans, I guess. They murder a lot of people.
That's fucking crazy.
Shit, yeah. Why are we like that?
It's just the way
it's the way we grew up.
So in our head, we always think, but normal people, I realize, don't really think like that. So you know how you always think someone's the enemy, like everyone's the enemy?
No.
It's not a good way to live, and it's not really like that. People are not. People are just minding their own business.
I know.
Remember at Bordel when I wanted to fight that guy because he was staring at me? There was a guy giving me fucking...
Yeah.
I go, Poseidon, if I come back from the bathroom, this guy's fucking looking at me, I'm starting shit. So the guy's looking at me, so I walk up to him. What does the guy say? I'm a big fan. Can I get a photo?
No fucking shit. Why would he be saying...
Fuck.
That's a very immigrant thing, though.
Very... Like, I saw that, I was like, I'm a fucking low-class person. I gotta shape up.
But does it come from the fact that from the stories that I've heard, you guys.
Yeah, that's
used
what
to
it's from.
fight a
It's
lot.
just the
Used
way
to be-
it comes from high school shit like that. It's not.
Yeah, we grew up
It's
very
not our
rough.
lives now. I'm fucking. My life is not rough now at all. I have
Yeah.
a fucking very easy life.
Yeah.
But it's just it.
It's these scars. They're still there.
Yeah, it's not. It's just you think. I don't know.
Old habits die hard.
All old habits I heard. I'm getting way better at it. Like when I'm out of town now, like let's say I'm flying or whatever, I used to always react when someone would come next to me, somebody would ask something or touch me or whatever, I used to freak the fuck out. Now it's very like I'm normal. Like somebody will grab me and be like, "Excuse me, sir," and I'll just look and be like, "Yeah, what?" Like I'll because it happens a lot in the States where people get more, "Excuse me, sir," and shit like that.
Okay.
And I used to be like, "Yeah, get the like that." Now it doesn't happen anymore. Now I'll be more calm. I'll turn my head. I'll smile. Like I'll realize they're not trying to hurt me.
Okay.
They're just trying to talk. It's just they're trying to get my attention or something. So I'm becoming way better than I used to be. But still, if I'm in a setting like that, like I'll go to a place I don't know, like I'd rather if I don't know the place, just by habit, I want to see who's coming in. I want to be able to not have anybody sneak up behind me.
No, for sure.
But
You want to
it's
protect the
not-
people around you also.
Yeah, exactly.
so-
I don't think it's personal, like I'm gonna kill this. But also, if something happens, let's say there's a fire. Let's say somebody comes to rob the place, anything. Give me some kind of position to defend myself.
Yeah.
Don't leave me naked. Like I saw a story today about in New Zealand there was a live. I don't know if it was recent, but there was a live volcano that erupted and evaporated tourists, killed all kinds of people. But they knew it was a live volcano. And people went there to take photos. They brought their kids there, bro.
Okay,
Oh,
no,
Jesus
that's
fucking
a dumb move.
Christ,
That's
bro.
You're a fucking
retarded
idiot. Like,
move,
protect yourself a bit.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I got tickets for this trip. That volcano, it's live now. Yeah, okay. Take me back there. I'm getting the fuck
10
out of
years,
here.
Yeah, 100%.
It's crazy.
That's yeah.
No.
I feel like I've always had this mentality where I try to protect myself, but I feel the difference is I've never had to act upon it. So maybe it's in this position where I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll keep an eye out in the restaurant, but I'm aware that we're not in Beirut. Like this is not the place is not about to blow up. So that's
Beirut, bro. You didn't grow up at all in Lebanon?
no. I was born and raised in Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you part of the Christian Lebanese or the Muslim Lebanese?
I'm a Christian Lebanese.
Okay, so this is what I heard, but you could confirm it because you're Lebanese,
Yeah.
you know. I heard this from a Muslim Syrian girl.
Yes.
She said that in Lebanon, because she has friends, apparently they hang out a lot, the Syrians and the Lebanese. She has friends, they went down there. The neighborhoods, she goes, you can tell when you're in a Muslim neighborhood and a Christian neighborhood.
100%.
And apparently one of them is not taken care of well.
So a thing.
It's not the
in-
Christian one. That's what I heard. I heard that
So
you go
it's-
and it's like you could tell the fucking, you know that this neighborhood, they're not Christians.
Is it the
because-
Buddhist one?
Yes, the Buddhist. Because it's apparently it's a fucking shit show.
It's a shit show because of the disparity. So
But how is this? What I understand in a country where they're the same ethnicity, how is the religion causing the disparity?
I feel like the religion is causing the disparity because first of all, the Christians that had money and were able to flee the country were able to fly out early enough. So
Then they came back and rebuilt their neighborhoods.
either they rebuilt their neighborhoods, they came from a bit more money, but also imagine just starting off without money and having 5-6 kids. You can't sustain these
Yeah, that's
areas.
crazy.
And it's very easy to see also which neighborhood is which because as soon as you drive into a city, the first thing that you see is these huge billboards with the face of the representing politician of the area. So of course, as soon as you walk
Oh, it's
in,
like
you can
super
see-
segregated.
It's like super. It's very very segregated. You know that X city is Christian, X city, Y city is
wow.
Muslim. So as soon as but now, the economics and the social aspects of them and is very related to the politics, but it's also related to the fact that the disparity is caused by. It's just years and years of not, let's say, maintaining the city or not being able to come out of this area, which is already poor. Let's say you were born in a poor neighborhood. Your parents don't have money. They decide to have 8, 10, 12 kids. It's just you're not set up for success to be
Yeah.
able to start building again and start. But yes, it's clear. You can see the definition.
You can see
between-
that-
You can
yeah.
see a clear
That's
difference
fucked, bro.
between.
And
both.
Lebanon is very small too. Lebanon
very
is
small
it's
country.
only a bit bigger than Montreal. I
Just a
think.
tiny bit bigger
Yeah.
than Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like imagine
crazy,
a neighborhood.
bro.
It's kind of like, you ever seen the movie The Warriors?
No.
Those gangs
Yes,
in New York.
exactly. It's
like
a bit.
It's like the Warriors, but Arab.
Arab, exactly.
It's like
Arab warriors.
halal
crazy.
warriors. That's what it is, bro. It's crazy the segregation in a
Allahu
country.
Warriors.
Is Greece a bit? Oh, Greece is mostly Christian, but is it segregated also? Of course, you have cities that are way poorer than the rest, but
Yeah.
is there any definition within the Greek diaspora that is, let's say,
The only thing that I could in Greece that kind of comes close is that there is a place in Crete called Zoniana, which is it's kind of like a mobster-run town.
okay,
It's up, but it's beautiful. Like they really take good care of it. But you do not fuck around there. Like there was an instance I think a little while ago where they were trying to catch a criminal that went up there, and they couldn't get up there because they have their own fucking rocket launchers and shit. Like you can't. But it's normal. You could go normally and shit, but they're very well equipped. But it's taken care of. It's not a ghetto. The only ghettoization that's happening now in Greece, in islands, and it's completely fucked up, is because of refugees that are coming on boats and shit like that, like from Turkey and trying to escape the Middle East. It's causing a big problem in Greece because there's certain neighborhoods now that and islands that the population of refugees is greater than the actual local indigenous people. Yeah. So it's causing a shitstorm. Especially there's that one island we were talking about where remember with the cross.
What island?
So the island has like,
Rhodos?
No, it wasn't Rhodes, but they have like this big. It was a church. They have a cross on top, and they kept breaking the cross down. And then
refugees.
And then also a local people who said we don't want to offend refugees, we're taking down the cross. And then Greeks were like, what are you talking about? It's our island. We want to have the cross up.
Of course.
And then the European Union said to Greece to stop them from putting up the cross so they don't offend the refugees who were coming illegally. Which then it drove Greeks crazy. Like, wait a second, you don't want me to offend the people that are coming here. Bullshit. Yeah, and then
that they're saving.
Yeah. So it causes all kinds of problems. But there's neighborhoods now, like in Athens, that it's like you can't do anything because the European Union locks the borders. The other countries are like, fuck that, we don't want any. So they're all stuck in Greece.
Okay. And Greece is acceptant politically of refugees, or is it mostly illegal immigrants, or what's the situation in Greece?
They're all illegal. I mean, but Greece has a thing where they can't. They're doing the right thing socially, like because or else they'll die. Because Turkey doesn't fuck around. When they leave, when they send them from Turkey says if you turn around, we'll shoot you. So now you have these boats, these rafts that are coming in. You have two choices. Either you shoot them and kill them, and there's kids on there, there's people, you don't know who they are, they could be innocent or whatever. But even if you send them back, they're gonna die. So Greece in a fucked up position, and they're like, they don't want to kill.
Yeah, of course not.
But what ends up happening is the European Union says, come on in, and we'll send them around Europe, and it'll be fine. They'll repatriate, have homes there. But they close the borders, and they're like, no, we can't handle it. So it's your problem now. And Greece can't handle itself. Our economy is not strong enough. So it causes all these problems. Then it causes frictions. And then the second anybody says anything, because people now, everybody wants to be politically correct. They're scared. So what they say is, you're racist. You're Islamophobic. You're this. Instead of realizing that it's like, bro, I can't handle it. Like right now, if you bring another 15 people in my house, I have to feed them or whatever, and I don't have enough food, it doesn't matter what they are. I can't handle it. It doesn't matter if they're Greek. There's no way I can feed them.
Even if the intent is good, if you literally can't sustain them,
I can't sustain. What do you want me to do?
Country,
I couldn't sustain my own family. Like Greece was in an economic crisis.
Yeah.
Our own people, we couldn't. How the fuck can we handle more? Especially if the European. So it's so shit like that happens a lot.
I was in.
So those areas, like in Athens, we're talking like Omonia, dude, it's fucking at night and shit like that. Even you can't walk around because there are people that are not documented. They don't give a fuck. They have nothing. Yeah. They'll rob you to survive it, and they don't. It's not like, oh, Charlie did it. You don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the position with refugees, where you want to open your doors, but there's no way for them to be able to be, first of all, tracked.
Yeah.
And for the government to be able to say, these are the parameters that we're putting you under. Start working your way up.
Yeah.
And that's the fucked up situation for a lot of these countries, that even if 85% of the refugees that get to Greece are willing to work, are willing to help within the
just
economy,
processing them becomes impossible.
And you have a 15% margin of error where you have some people that are there to do fucked up shit and are taking advantage of the situation to fucking destroy homes.
Oh, we get a lot. The rapes, all that. The schools that they went into now, because there was a law that was long-standing since the military junta in Greece, where military and police weren't allowed to go into university. They weren't allowed to go into school, into academia at all, no matter what. So people would commit crimes and run into a school.
Oh, wow. So they would be protected inside of the
Exactly.
school.
You can't get in there.
Why were there...
Because during the military junta, there was a political, let's say, in Athens, uprising at one point, and it was students that started. And the military had to go into one of the schools. They broke into the school, and apparently some kids died from fire. And now, to be honest, from what I know, the numbers were fudged. They were brought up a bit to push the cause of the students. It's because there's a lot of like people that never came forward. Like there's a lot of kids like that had their, but you never seen a father come forth, a mother come forth. No families come and said that's my kid. You get what I'm saying?
And Greeks are very dramatic.
Yeah. So it's they didn't want a military junta. Point is, since then it was kind of like an asylum. Like you have safe asylum in the schools. But what happened when the new government took over now? Like, we have to stop this shit, because every year, whenever there's like a parade, whenever there's a big national event, people cause problems. They'll burn flags, they'll break stores, and then they'll run into a university. So he goes, fuck that shit. But in going in there, and they found stockpiles of weapons, and they found weaponry that was used in the Middle East during like ISIS shit.
What?
Yeah. So then they're like, wait a second, how the fuck did this get here? And then they'll process people that'll come in, and you get people like, yeah, we're coming from Syria, we're coming from this, and then you find out they're actually Algerian, they're Sri Lankan, they're coming, but they're just saying like, yeah, I'm a Syrian refugee.
So they use that as justification to get into the country.
Yeah, but you know who that fucks over? That fucks over Syrian refugees. Because most of the actual Syrian refugees that come over are, they're like, okay, how am I going to do this? I got my family, we got to set this up. How do I become a citizen? How do I? But all these other people come in, and they're like, yeah, we're Syrian too. It's like, bro, you're from Bangladesh. Yeah, so a lot of that shit happens.
It's a tricky situation, man.
Point is, they found those weapons there. So people are like, fuck, how are they getting there? And then once you're in Greece, if you could manage your shit well, dude, the borders, you could, if you're not trying to walk across them, you could get all over Europe. All over Europe. If you don't look like you're going to commit a fucking crime, dude, Europe is open.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. Europe is open now. It's not what it used to be.
No, it's, yeah.
Man, this is going to cause some serious crazy shit that's going to go down.
Yeah.
How's the economy in Greece now? Because I know 3-4 years ago it was a fucking borderline bankruptcy, but has it been getting
it should have been bankrupt, but that would have been amazing. If it went bankrupt, that would have been amazing. But they would never let you go bankrupt.
Of course, in your country.
They need. Well, you could. Argentina went bankrupt. We needed a reset button. Greece shouldn't have been in the European Union economically anyway, because our economy. I mean, Italy shouldn't have been in it. Spain shouldn't have been in Portugal. The southern countries don't have the same economy that the northern ones do. We don't produce this. Yeah. So you can't have countries like Germany or even England, France dictating the currency. You know, when it doesn't matter. Like our standard of living is completely different. Yeah. You know, so let's say Canada runs its own currency. It doesn't have a North American currency. So if they need to inflate or deflate, or, to regulate, they can do it. Now, if Greece needed to, they can't do anything. So if they don't control the European currency. So they're fucked. That's why people were working in Greece for fucking 300 euros a month, and a coffee costs you, let's say, 3 or 5 euros. Just do the math. If you're getting 10 euros a day, how the fuck do you live? Right? But in other places, it wouldn't be that. Their minimum would be, let's say, 10 euros an hour, for example. So they would have that money, and then they would apply that same logic to Greece. We said we can't afford that shit. We don't. Our money's off tourism. We have fucking 8 months out of the year. So a lot of shit fucked. Same thing with Spain. Spain got fucked. Italy got hit.
Yeah.
I remember my uncle wasn't making money because my uncle's a farmer. He owns land. He wasn't making money for the longest fucking time, bro. And now, just recently, he sold like a bunch of fucking oranges and shit.
he had a box.
12 oranges.
Yeah.
No, I mean like fields and fields of oranges.
Okay.
Yeah. And now he's doing well. Better.
It's a good story. At least it ended well.
Exactly, because he sold his oranges and then he...
No, but it's fucked up, dude. It's crazy down there. It's crazy what happened down there. And but that's like... That's clearly a systematic approach to destabilize and destroy a region. Because just when the country was getting its economic self better, you just injected and fucked it. Because now imagine, you need money for the military that goes in, that looks around, that has to investigate all the people that are coming in. You're trying to house all these people. There's ghettos now. You have to take care of that. So as soon as the country was getting back on its feet, you just threw a fucking grenade in there.
Is there this thing, because with the Lebanese people, there's always like, oh, the Jews are there to get us. The United States just want the country of Lebanon. Like that's Lebanon do Greeks have that same mentality with outside countries are trying to take over Greece because it's the most beautiful and the greatest country in the world, or would you feel?
Are you saying it's the most beautiful and great country in the world? Because it probably is, but it's small. Here's the thing: it's not that they say that because it's tourism, so they're used to having people come there. They like having people visit and showing them a good time. They love that. What they don't like, Greeks do not like other people imposing their rules on them. Yeah. So when the European Union can make rules for Greece, they don't like that. This is a government that we didn't elect, deciding for us what to do. Americans are the same way. Americans do not want a foreign power dictating to them. So Greeks have obviously freedom or death. That was our motto. Yeah. So we don't like that shit at all. So now what's happening is another country, Brussels, they're dictating how Greece should run itself. So the Greeks don't like that. So in there, the idea that there's a conspiracy, but I mean, it is technically a conspiracy because people are conspiring to dictate for you what to do. They're not so much worried about they don't have that, like the Jews or this, they don't have any of that. But they do have they're clearly trying, like globalization is clearly fucking Greece over. right?
In the sense that less people are coming to the country to visit, or in what sense?
No, every year there's more and more people coming, but Greece is no longer Greece. It's not in charge of anything.
Just the port of Piraeus.
I mean, it was sold to the Chinese.
Yeah.
And the port, China owns our biggest port. And what's crazy is that there was a conglomerate of rich Greek tycoons, shipping tycoons, that got together and they were going to purchase it. And the Greek government said no and sold to Chinese for less money than what the conglomerate wanted. So that kind of shit's suspicious. Yeah, that kind of shit's suspicious. Yeah.
But what would be the bigger force working behind it, in your opinion?
It's politics. Because people, you have to understand that people don't really care about your... Like Greece, people forget this because they talk about nationalism and all that. So Canada, for example, is not an ethnicity, right?
Yeah. Of course not. Yeah.
It's but there's no ethnicity. If it's not like you can't if you would take DNA test, unless you're talking about natives here, and if they want to consider themselves not what they really are, but Canadian or whatever, they would trace you back somewhere else. They'd be like, you're Norwegian, you're this, right? But whereas Greece is an ethnicity. Greeks are there's an ethnic Greek. You know what I mean? That exists. So it's very weird when you're saying no, just put people together and they're going to become Greek. It's going to be fine. When it's like, no, the culture, the values that they have is completely different. It's not, there's an ethnicity to Greece. It's not just a place on the map. It's not just you're here, so you're Greek. Yeah. That's why it's hard to become a Greek citizen. There's more to it, you know? So, but people try to apply the stamp everywhere. They go, but Canada works. Or the U.S. works or something like that. But it's a completely different thing because there's...
It's been an open country for so long.
Yeah, and there's no ethnicity, you know? So it's not you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean by the ethnos.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah,
like
I know exactly what you mean in the sense of that. Even
like I'm born here.
You're born here, but you're ethnically Greek.
Exactly. So nationality, like if you would take a DNA test right now, right? Yeah. I'd be like, I'm in Canada. They'd be like, sir, it says here Greece. Yeah. It matches your DNA. Like, yeah, that makes sense, because there's no ethnicity to markers to be like this is what Canadians come from.
Yeah, because our DNA does not come geographically from here.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. So, and also the culture, right? Like it has its own distinct culture. Greece,
of
right?
course,
it has its own distinct culture, which is different from what the northern culture is. It's different. Yeah. It's close to the Italian one. It's close to Spain. All the southern ones are very, very, very similar.
Very similar, yeah.
The way they treat each other.
Even the Lebanese were very similar to the Lebanese,
yeah. Even the Turkish, the ones on the side, the European
West
side,
Coast, yeah.
They're fucking very, very similar.
Very close. It's all from the same.
Yeah. But then the second you start going in deep, like you go into deep Turkey, like where Erdogan's like core is, bro, these people are from another era. Okay. These people come from fucking the time of like fucking Ottoman invasion, shit, like the way they think. Okay. It's fucking everyone's enemy. Cut their head. But they're not representative of the rest of the population. You go to Constantinople. They're fucking they're like Europeans.
Yeah, but then again, a lot of the Turks along the coast, you know, the whole thing that happened when they were preoccupied.
1/3. Yeah, there's a lot of Greeks.
There's a lot of Greeks that are Turkish, but really they're Greeks. Yeah. So, like, there's a lot of that too.
If DNA decides, then maybe, but I don't know. But they are.
Is there still tension, you would say, between Greeks and Turks? When you go to Greece, do you still
tension
feel
is putting it lightly, I find.
But here's the thing.
Seriously?
Yeah, but it's mostly political because we get a lot of Turkish tourists that go to Greece. And they get treated cool. Okay. Tourists that go from Greece to Turkey.
Because they're able to differentiate regular people that just want to have fun.
That's an advantage they have there that we don't have here. Here, I see a lot of people, they group it all together. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, but there, at least they're able to separate that, which is pretty interesting because they could tell.
But there's still tension. Let's say if I would be Turkish and I traveled to Greece, I would still feel like there's some eyes on me or no?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Because let's say if we compare it to Lebanon,
it's different because you guys are also in a constant state of
war. That's the thing.
With other people around you. Like I'll go when I go to Athens. Like my gold chain that I got, the store that I got it in Monastiraki. I was talking to the girl. Her family was from Turkey. They came. They moved there. They started. She was speaking to me in Greek and this. And there was no tension with me. There was no tension with the Greek store owners around. Everybody was friends. Okay. It's just they get.
They moved on from what happened in this sense.
They're neighbors, right? The countries are neighbors, and the stuff that's still fucked up is political.
Okay.
The girl working at the fucking restaurant, the guy who has his family, they have nothing to do with what fucking Erdogan is trying to take over. They have nothing to do with it. It's not their problem. That's like if a guy breaks into your house, fucking steals your shit, and he's Greek. That's like you coming to me after. I didn't even know the guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck this is.
Unrelated.
So it's unrelated. So they're very good there at doing that, at separating it, which I admire. Because here, if you notice, it's very hard. Here it's If people are mad at Trump, it's fucking Americans. It's, you know, they group everything together. When in America, first of all, even America itself is not stuck on one thing like, oh, we're all behind one guy.
Yeah.
They can't be. There's 350 million people.
No,
It's impossible.
It's true.
You know, but and the West is things like that too. Same thing in Europe. Same thing. And people see the English if they vote for one thing. Oh, how come the English are voting for this? Right, dude. Everyone's fucking different. Everyone is fucking different. Everyone's fucking different. But they don't. Like America gets the worst rap on the planet. I think America. Everywhere you go, people will talk shit and be like, these fucking Americans. They're trying to take. Right. And at the same time, then they'll pull out their iPhone. They'll watch their fucking American show subtitled. Yeah, they don't realize that they're talking shit, but they love the culture.
100%.
They love the culture.
But most American people we've met, especially you, because you go down to the States more often, are fucking sweethearts.
Yeah, that's what I'm
of course.
Why do you think the culture is so appealing? Why do you think it's so appealing? It's literally that. It's literally the freedom. It's humanity at where we've reached right now. It's the best of. It's the best it's ever been.
The only thing I don't like about the States is the fast food aspect of it.
Forget that. That's you can eat whatever you want. That's the beauty of it, is you can eat whatever you want.
True.
But it's the best it's ever been in the history of the world is right now in North America. Yeah. But because of America.
Yeah, that's true.
100%. And their export is the culture also. We tend to forget. We tend to say that Americans are uncultured, but they were able to market their culture to the whole world. When you can talk about the Avenger movies everywhere.
Okay, and Avengers is such a fun example because that's not even the best of American cinema, right? Yeah. It's actually the fast food of American cinema.
Yeah.
But everywhere that's been adopted, right? That's that's part of American culture. So you're telling me it doesn't have culture, it's shit culture, whatever? Well, you fucking adopted it. You love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then, and nobody forced it on you. You went, put your hard-earned money.
Exactly.
You bought a ticket. Why? Because you like it. It's appealing. Now, take that and use it for other cultures that go around the world or whatever, where you have nothing to do with it. Which one is the shit culture? Just think about it. Because there are cultures that preach the opposite. Cultures that don't preach freedom. Right? Cultures that preach tyranny. Yeah. They're always forced on people. They're forced on you, and if you don't like it, you're the problem. America's not fucking imposing its culture on anyone. No. You're adopting the culture because you like it. No one's like, you have to watch this TV show. You have to become a Game of Thrones fan. No. You're like, fuck, it's a good show. Right?
Let's buy it and let's distribute it.
Let's buy it and distribute it. That's the truth. People don't want to. That's the fucking truth.
It is the truth.
But they always get mad at you when you're on top.
There's a beauty in that too. I like it.
And for all the shit that's happening around the world, like let's say America's and there's military base everywhere. They're involved everywhere. Yeah, whether you like it or not, when you're on top, that's what you want to do. When you're on top, you have all these little wars that are being fought around. You have a choice. Either you let it come to you, or you go on the offensive. Right?
The best defense is the best offense sometimes.
You tried to say something smart, but yes.
I know what you mean.
But that's what it is. That's what it is. Do you want it to be at home? Fuck that. You do what they used to do in the Middle Ages. You export the violence. But it's true. You go like because people forget America.
Because there's going to be violence regardless.
It's not just there's going to be violence. If someone has something you need, you're going to try to find a way to negotiate. You know what I mean? And then if it doesn't go your way, if you have the power to push it your way, you're going to fucking anyone in that position will do it. So you can't complain on one hand and then enjoy the exploits of that. So don't enjoy the exploits of that. Like, for example, Mike, right? Mike feels bad for animals. He doesn't want to kill them. That. So even his shoes, everything, he goes vegan because he believes in that. Mike's not like, I hate what they're doing to fucking animals and eating a burger. He stands by, and he has to go the extra mile. His life gets a little bit harder because he has to find all these things. They're harder to find, bro. Like the one of the things that I wanted to get him now for Christmas that I got him, it was harder to find than what I thought it would be. It was something that's vegan, that's not eating, right? Like a product. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, it's a little bit harder. And I imagine him, Yeah. And I'm using it as an example because it just happened to me now recently. That's for vegan. And veganism is a big thing. It's growing. Imagine if it's for something else. You know what I mean? It's hard, bro. It's super hard to believe in something and then to follow it through. It's super hard.
And you have to stand by it. You can't just go out there on Twitter advertising that you stand by X and then you.
But that's the thing.
You've seen industries doing Y. So
when people tweet like, "Oh fuck America," this and that, you're on Twitter, but that's American.
Yeah.
You have a YouTube channel, also American. That's what.
You're getting paid in American.
Yeah.
dollars.
So start your own shit. What do you want me to fucking tell you? Like when people talk about democracy and they'll talk shit about Greece. Who do you think that fucking comes from, bro? Greece. You can't talk shit about like the way it is now, freedom, and without mentioning Greece. You can't talk shit because we're the ones who started that shit. That was a concept that Greeks had where we're like, you know what? I don't like people being in charge of us. Fuck that shit. We're free. We're free thinking. We don't like that people. Shit. Yeah, we'd rather fucking die. you know, than have somebody tell. That's a Greek thing. That's an ancient Greek thing to have, right? Not there's a god king on earth. Let's follow him. No, Greeks it was, nah. I'm gonna make my own fucking decisions. I'm gonna control my life. You know, that type of thing, which people for sure took for granted back then. But look at how important it was now. How it influenced Rome. It influenced so much.
It's the basis
culture.
of the world right now.
Yeah, it's the base of the world right now. But that took people that were willing to stand up for that. Because Greece could have given up so many times, bro. Everyone was coming to take us over. So many. And they were always more.
Yeah, we were always
outnumbered. But what did they say? They said, nah, fuck it. What we believe in, it's a bit more important than just us. It's like the court case.
It's bigger than us.
It's bigger than us. Like the court case now with Mike.
Yeah.
He knows.
100%.
Some people don't get it. They're like, why doesn't he just pay the 35 Gs? He's already passed the 200 G mark. It's not the money. The money's been spent. It's not about the saving the money. He already spent more than
It's bigger than the money.
It's bigger than him. Because by doing that, he fights for me. He fights for him. He fights for you. He fights for anybody that wants to talk shit and say shit. It's true. He knows it's bigger, so he's like, fuck it. It's bigger than me.
So it's some people are so dense. It's just impossible to even get that point through.
That's very honorable of him, though. Mm-hmm. It's very like
people don't see. A lot of people don't see it like that. A lot of people think, "Oh, your boy, he's fighting. That's good, bro. Don't fucking pay the kid." It's not pay the kid. You don't get it. The money's. He's not saving money. He already passed. He could have saved money by just giving money. But the second he would do that, it would set the wrong precedent. So he said, "No, fuck that shit. No fucking way." There's people that can't afford it. There's people that can't afford to fight this type of case.
And you can see and it's coming from a place that is 100% genuine, because you can see Mike from 2016, 2017 all the way up to now. It's just, and you know what? What's crazy is he went through this very dark phase within the past year and a half, 2 years, and you've seen it also blossom into something that's even bigger than him at this point. You have comics from all around the world. So in a sense, honestly, maybe the kid did him a favor. In a sense
maybe he might have done us all a favor.
Blessing in disguise.
We're gonna find out soon. We're gonna find out how serious the government takes freedom of speech here. Because it's not one of our rights. You know that in Canada.
It isn't. No.
Freedom of speech. One country has it on the planet, and that's the United States of America. And it is one of the greatest powers they have. Is that, and that's
so. In the same situation in the States, he could have not been sued.
He wouldn't have been. Are you crazy? No, the First Amendment, no one's going to fuck with that in the States. No, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
No. As long as it's not, you're not asking for violence.
Yeah, as long as...
You know,
calling to violence, shit like that. Yeah,
putting people in danger, like, yelling fire in a crowded theater, shit like that. Yeah, but your freedom of speech to say, this guy's a fucking idiot, I don't like... Dude, you can... That's the beauty of... That's what we've made it as humanity.
Yeah.
If as humanity, I can't make a joke, I can't make... And I'm not saying only... This is the other thing people They misjudge us about me too. They think, oh, you just think comedians say whatever they want. No. I want this for everyone. It's not about being a comic. You're not understanding. This is more than comedy. I want you, the regular guy in the street, anyone, to be able to say whatever the fuck they want. I never want somebody to be like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get sued. I can't say. That's a crazy way to live.
Constantly, when
that's Harry Potter shit, bro. That's Voldemort shit.
Yeah. When I've worked with people at work, jobs, I've always told people when I train them or whenever I was, because I could talk a lot sometimes, right? I don't shut up. I've literally told people, by the way, if I talk too much or whatever, if I say something you don't like, just tell me straight. Tell me, shut the fuck up, bro. Or like, you can tell me this. Don't worry. Like, I 100% agree.
I've had that
it's way better like that.
When I used to work on a 5, it happened I remember one time I got into an argument with someone, and then after he's like, "Oh, I'm very sorry." I goes, "Can you I don't want you to go tell HR or anything." I go, "But what?" I got mad. I said, "I don't give it. That's me and you talking. No. Who do I look like? I'm gonna go to HR. That's me and you. You didn't attack me. We had a disagreement,
especially in a corporate setting. At these situations
but they were so nervous because that's the kind of shit I go, you fucked up. No,
because they fear mongered people.
The fear mongering scared people.
Yeah, it's you should, and also a lot of comics don't even. So in Quebec, everybody's, especially comedians, are mostly behind Mike in the sense that they understand the weight. But
I think all of them.
A lot of comics even don't understand the importance.
They don't get it.
They don't even get 5. Like they're all cool. Yes, I support my court.
But they don't even get 5% of it.
They don't understand how important this is for us. Because if, let's say, the kid wins, we're not all fucked in the sense of like, oh, we can't joke about anything anymore. It's just if anybody decides to even go through,
there's a precedent for it. Yeah,
there's a precedent for it. And even if you decide to go to court because someone made fun of you, and they start the suing process. How much money are you going to fucking spend before winning
that's what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying.
It opens up very nasty doors.
This is a Pandora's box. You do not want that door to open in a free society. Yeah. Maybe in Libya. but not here.
There would have no cases in Libya.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You don't want that shit here, and it's. But a lot of people, still comics don't get it because I know when comics that mention it to me and I'm excited, and then they'll go like, fucking, don't give the kid any money, or that would suck if you would have to pay that. It's a lot of money. Where's he gonna find it? I'm like, no, it's not. He's already spent more. It's not about the fucking. And then it gets you mad. I go, you're a comedian.
It's like that comment.
And you have no idea what the fuck is happening right now, and it affects you, and it affects every artist, but it affects every person.
Yeah.
You say the wrong thing on the bus, you're gonna let someone sue you because their feelings are hurt.
That's in the complete insanity.
Yeah. And by the amount of bullshit that we spew daily.
Yeah.
There's thousands of hours of me talking online. You know how easy it is because people are like, oh, what if they find something that you say is controversial?
Fine.
Controversial. Just ask me. You don't even go on the internet. Talk to me for 5 minutes.
Just say hi.
Talk to me for 5 fucking minutes. I guarantee I'm gonna say something that you don't fucking like or that he doesn't fucking like.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's how I feel.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with me.
Yeah.
But it's how I feel.
Yeah, and few people don't have the balls to stand by their word.
They don't have the balls. And the other thing is, I don't have that in me. Like the whole fears. I tell you what, because everything you say, like all the stuff I've ever heard about me, is always been so wrong, right? Like the excuse is always if I say something and someone's gay, it's but you're homophobic. I'm actually really not. Not only do I not have a problem, I'm all for you. Do whatever. That's not a choice thing.
Yeah.
That's you're born gay. It's not my fucking business, you know. So no, that's not true. Racist. That's another dumb fucking thing. I don't dictate by race. I dictate by your own culture. How you are as a person. If you're a piece of garbage, I'm gonna treat you like a fucking piece of garbage. I don't give a shit. The rest doesn't matter.
You treat people accordingly.
I treat you according to you. I don't because it doesn't. In reality, it doesn't dictate anything. Your race can't dictate. Like me and you. Let's say we're Greeks. We were born here. We have a lot of similarities because we were born here. Grab a same Greek born out in Australia or something. He might be a total piece of shit. Same age as us, total piece of shit. So what is it? Is he Australian? No, I know a lot of cool Australians. Is it because he's Greek? No, I know a lot of cool Greeks.
He's a piece of shit.
But culturally, he's a piece of shit, bro. His culture at home was shit. Has nothing to do. So all that stuff doesn't apply. So when you try to take my stance on a topic or a person and you try to broaden it, I already know that you have no argument. You're just panicking, so you're throwing words. A lot of people, they get scared. I'm not a racist, I'm not a... But I'm like, this is nonsense. I don't give a shit. Say whatever the fuck. I don't care. This is complete bullshit. Anyone with a brain could look back and see what I said.
Yeah.
So no, I don't give a shit. But I know a lot of people who are scared. They're like, I don't want to deal with the backlash of this, so I'm not going to say it. But I that doesn't exist in me.
I don't see it existing in you anyway.
No. I've worked way too hard to be scared of like an opinion. Because I have opinions. There's people that I meet. There's people that I'm like, I don't fucking like this person. And then I'll get to talk to them, meet them, like, you know what, I was fucking wrong about this person. I have wrong opinions.
Yeah.
I have wrong opinions on shit.
And it's actually very human.
Yeah. So I feel like there's something
it's-
about this person I don't fucking like. And then I get to know the person, like, wow, the person I thought that was, I was completely wrong. But I'll admit it. I won't be like, well, I was used to hating him, so fuck him. No, I'll admit it. Fuck, I was 100% wrong before it happens. I admit it. Even me, I have that. So obviously the other person's going to have that too. You have the right to not know me well, see a couple of clips, and be like, this guy's evil, or this guy's good, or whatever. Yeah, it's good for you to have your opinion. But then exercise it, look into it a bit. Yeah. Not just paint a broad fucking stroke with your brush and be like, this guy's X thing or whatever.
Go to the extra step of actually asking the person a question and then hearing them out.
Investigate a little bit.
Because maybe I'll hear you out and I'm like, oh no, you know what? He's actually a piece of shit. That's what my opinion was right. In this situation.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, I was right about you. But I fucking, I meet a lot of people that I was wrong about. That I had the perception, or I heard a lot of stuff, and I was like, I don't like this person. Then I'll talk to them and be like, oh, fuck, okay.
As long as you don't make a solid opinion out of a perception.
Yeah, no. Well, you're gonna have. Yeah, it's never gonna be solid. Like, you're gonna have an opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm always willing to change it. Like I'm always you. There's always an opportunity for you to change my mind. I'm cool with that. Just most of the times it doesn't happen because if I'm really stuck on something, it's because I've experienced it. I've been through it.
That's another Greek thing, hard-headedness.
I'm very hard-headed, but you can change my mind on anything. My mind's changed so much on all kinds of shit.
Through that, do you ever, let's say, sit down and have conversations with people that have a very different opinion or very different way of seeing things? And do you ever see it actually slowly changing your opinion on some senses?
Yeah, it's happened a lot. It's happened a lot where it's changed I've become more, I guess, libertarian
with age.
With age, yeah, more. I when I was younger, I was more. I went through a period where I was more very, very left-leaning.
Very left-leaning?
Very left-leaning.
Okay, so it's going the other way around. I would have expected you to, let's say, grow because of...
No, I was very left-leaning. Then I went very right-leaning. And then I became very like, I hate all that shit. I'm very like what libertarians are, very personal freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't have the right to fucking tell you how to live, do that. I'm very much for that. I love that. Like the freedom to let people be free. That's what I like.
Live and let live.
Yeah. Because the only reason why I was getting pushed from side to side is because I would see extremism from either side that I wouldn't like. You know what I mean? Like now, the way the left is, the extreme left.
Horrible.
Bro, I want to piss on these fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I can't. It's the most fucking annoying thing. You're calling someone a fascist and then not letting them speak. You're being a fascist and calling someone. You know how crazy that is? You're
That's
saying
insanity.
Yeah, it's insanity. It's the definition of fucking insanity. You're doing what you're accusing the other person of doing when they haven't done that. Just that their opinion is different from yours, so you don't like it, so you don't be able to hear it. So that kind of shit drives me fucking crazy. So I understand when I see people smacking people in the face. Like I understand how it could get to that point where you're trying to say something. Like right now, you're trying to talk, or I'm trying to talk, and you keep smacking the mic out of my fucking face. How many times do you think you're gonna do that before I punch you in the fucking face? Like how many times do you think you could do it before it escalates?
Yeah.
Instead of just, all right, let's have a dialogue.
Let's sit down, have the actual conversation, go through the steps, and then see if I'm able. And it's not even a question of being able to change someone's opinion.
At least
I
find
just
common
think-
ground.
find
Understand
common
where you
ground.
really stand
We're
and
all
where I
human.
really stand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have your stance on something, he has his, I have mine. It's just being able to find some sort of middle ground. And I feel like this is something that's actually missing right now in the public discourse, is that I can't even get a word in.
Oh, at all.
Sorry, keep
And
going.
you
Go
should
for it,
be
go
able
for
to.
it.
You should be able
Yeah.
to. You're Lebanese. Actually,
No, I'm saying in general. I'm not even saying you're able, in the sense of that. Let's say you post a tweet that I'm down for. You know what? This is a stance that I support. I can't even be able. You can't even start justifying your opinion
at all.
before someone cutting you off, or before someone saying, "Oh, this is a fascist. He's a racist. He's a homophobe." Before, we're all humans. We all have our moments where we think we have some piece of shit thoughts. You know, it happens to me that I have a piece of shit thought. Let me get my point out.
Yeah.
And let me set the stone. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I think that's also what's really nice about podcasting. It's like
Long form interviews.
yeah, and putting the brakes on things and just sitting down, chilling, and just hashing it out.
Yeah, because it is
talking.
on the internet when you have to release something. Plus, people forget about the fakeness of the internet. I had a conversation yesterday with Vern. We went for coffee, and we were just talking about people. Because I was telling him how I don't really pay too much attention to like this post that I like. Like I like a lot of dog posts and shit like that. But I really like seeing posts from like people I grew up with, went to school with, when they have like kids, family. For some reason, that's the kind. I'm like, oh fucking. That to me, they made it. You know. But he still has friends that he has in his thing, and he was talking to me about people that they're acting like they're 15 and they just got Instagram, but they're like 40 years old, and they're
Jesus
just
Christ.
and they're
That's
just
my
and they're
fucking
just stunting. They're doing this a lot. With the
my
lips out,
favorite
and they're
thing.
taking pictures in cars and all that stuff. And he's like, it's fucking weird. I go, yeah, I don't pay attention to that, but you're right, that is weird because it's all fake. A lot of these people, when you see them in real life, they're not happy. They're making the perception that they're happy and shit. They like the shit. Like you look at the shit we post is podcast related jokes, promotion. I don't.
Yeah, Instagram is mostly used for.
Yeah,
for
go
promotion
find the
and all,
last photo. You have to go back a few years to find a photo of me and a girlfriend, for example.
Yeah.
Because that's not nobody's business. That's not what they're following me for. Like, hi guys, I'm here and get the fuck out of here. That's not what I'm a comedian. They're following me for my opinion, comedy, shit like that. That's what they're following me for. I'm not there to be like, look at what I'm doing. Look out, because what do you mean? What am I doing? How does that make me better than you? And what?
Yeah.
And don't fall for that trap, because a lot of these people that you think they're acting like, oh, I'm living better than you. Most of them are doing it to project that because they're not actually happy. A lot of them are not happy, and I know a lot of people like that post some fucking shit, like they're stunting on people, they're flaunting, and he knows a couple of the ones that I'm referencing. They're miserable. And they don't know what it is. And the reason why they're miserable is because they're trying to impress people that don't want to be impressed. People don't give a shit. People either like you or they don't like you.
Exactly.
Yeah, they really don't. I love seeing older Lebanese man or
doing that
older
shit.
ethnic balding guys who are like 47, just posting pictures of their watches and
nobody cares.
on the car. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. I like you regardless, or I don't like you regardless. That's not going to change my opinion.
Imagine trying to brand your life.
Yeah, that's
Let's
what
say you're not an artist and we're using social media as a platform to be able to get our content out. Imagine just living your regular life, your 9 to 5, and you're trying to brand your life for people to be able to see how fucking shallow you are and how.
Yeah.
And if you're an accountant and you have your wife at home, you have your kids, you're trying to maintain your life. That's the thing. Imagine trying to post a picture of your car just to show people, like, hey.
I drive an Audi A4, bro.
No, but it also goes back to that's why I like, because you know how you said like your fans are fucking hardcore and shit. The reason why I like them, the reason why I have a Discord, the reason why we like to talk on Sundays, do that, is because I keep getting a lot more like-minded people. Do you know what I mean? Like they understand, they see the game, they see it, they don't fall for that. Like I don't have people sending me like, look at my new. None of them. They're all like people who are fucking working. They want to joke around. They want to. They understand that the political correctness.
People that want to enjoy life.
Yeah. So the reason why I think they like me is because they feel that I like them. Like they could tell.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm happy to see them. I'm happy to talk with them. Like at shows when they come, like I'm this person, and they give me their Twitter name or their YouTube name. I get excited. I was like, holy fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's. I like these people because I've gotten to know them. You know, so that's the good thing about podcasting. You get to know these people, and I'm like, fuck, they're like-minded.
Yeah.
But it never, and again, it goes back to never does anybody mention their fucking. A lot of people we don't know whether they're men or women. You know that like from the. So it's never their gender, never their race, never their fucking sexual. None of that shit matters.
No,
because it doesn't even come into your head.
No,
right.
It's that we connect on the content.
You connect on
the
which is
ideas.
amazing. That's what I'm saying. That's it's so it goes down to the purest fucking, and that's where that connection happens. But some people that I know even, I'll look at their content or whatever. I'm like, why, like, bro, sis, like, what are you guys doing? Like, it's fucking stupid. Like, you look at like Kim Kardashian and you try to mimic that, but even her we think is dumb.
And she's making a shit ton of
She's
money.
done
She's making each. So
post,
imagine you.
Yeah, every fucking dumb post that they put, they're making a couple $1 million. You're not even making that money. You just look stupid.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. And everyone I find like. I hate the fucking influencer. I'm an influencer.
Oh my fucking god!
Stop.
You know what I love is seeing people who just started to get like their 1,500 followers, 2,000 followers, and because let's say as comics, you go up to open mics, you write material, you try out material. So that's how you start building your career.
Yeah.
As an influencer, if you're trying to build something, whatever career it's supposed to be, I love seeing people that have 1,700 followers just start mimicking influencers.
Yes.
They start posting their things like
this how it's done.
Yeah, this is, or bought this at Simon's, and they'll tag Simon's and hashtag Simon's, and they fucking purchase their product. So I feel like
that normally happens when they give you the product.
It's very cringy.
It's very cringy to see someone with a small amount of followers trying to mimic that influencer life and how they're living it, and you know that they work at Jungkook too.
Yeah, and there's no problem even with working at Jungkook too.
No, that's
my
not the
issue
point.
Is that you're trying to live through someone else's skin.
Exactly. Don't try to be something that you're not. Now, how can you? But although on the other, to give the other side of the opinion, if ever they want to get paid for their content, they have to start somewhere also.
Yeah.
So that's the fucked up part where you're like, okay, don't make fun of them because they're trying to do this shit, but it's just like someone could make fun of me.
They're trying to do it, but it's never gonna work because they're like I see a lot of people who they're like, you know how many self-help people I have? Like I didn't know that this many of my friends became so good in their lives that they're helping
business gurus,
anything gurus that they're so good in their lives that they're helping you. But the worst is I see people like, you're a fucking loser. Who's winning? Or like you're always winning, and I'm gonna tell you how to win. You still haven't learned how to win. What are you talking about? Who are these idiots that follow you? And they're like, this guy's a winner. Because there's people, all you need to say is, I'm a winner, follow me. And some people are just like, if he wasn't a winner, why would he say he was a winner?
He wouldn't lie.
He wouldn't lie. This guy's still a winner. I'm going to follow him. It's like, look, it starts by you give me $50 a month so that I could tell you all my tips and tricks. I'm like, fuck, this is a steal.
This is a steal.
This is a great deal. So crazy, and I'll see shit like that.
Yeah. Every time I post something on Instagram, I try to not to fall into that trap. Like I try to post just me being me, you know.
Well, you're malaka. Everything you post is you with a jacket with a chain.
Yeah.
Well, that's your persona now.
Yeah, your persona now is you're a white rapper.
Who's trying to make it. That's what you're trying. But it's
you're Toast Malone.
That's amazing.
I could actually see the tattoos on your face.
Toast Malone.
You're Toast Malone. You have a peanut butter jelly sandwich tattoo
I'm
right here.
never gonna tattoo my fucking face, bro.
Always tired.
Always tired.
That's what he has tattooed.
Remember that?
Toast Malone.
That's
always
a
tired.
fucking dumb tattoo.
Toast Malone. God damn.
What happens in your life that you're like, you know what? I'm gonna ink my face.
Toast Malone, bro.
Toast Malone's
inking your face, I think, is fucked up.
It's next level, bro.
I think it's fucked up because it's hard. Because you could get tattoos you don't, or that means something now but might not mean something. Like let's say always tired. Let's say his face looks cool now, but on your face
when he's 50,
it's gonna look a little weird. You know,
the face is a very risky part though.
Very risky part.
But then again, the older he gets,
I feel like you should go here, like collarbones and down.
Yeah, this area here.
You should be able to take a photo without a tattoo showing.
Yes.
So that if your feelings
100%.
change on something, you know, like let's say he gets a tattoo here on his fucking cheek and it says, I don't know, Bernie Sanders.
Maybe
when Bernie first came up and people thought he was a good dude, and then they found out he's a piece of garbage. Now you're still stuck with Bernie Sanders, bro.
And this is coming from me. I love tattoos. Fucking love. I think
and
they're
toast.
fucking hot. I think
Toast Malone
they're
loves
nice, you know, on anyone.
Yeah.
And no, above the collarbones, I don't.
That's
I don't
it.
think,
Me, I say because there's so many. Your body all full, fucking super nice. Love that shit. But on your face is because it's right there. It's the first thing people see, and if it's not how you feel anymore,
you're stuck with it.
You're stuck with it because
because even taking the
even
tattoo
a beautiful
off,
tattoo. You ever seen those tattoos that how many tattoos do you have?
Just one big one.
I have one.
Here.
I only want one small one.
It's I got a cross. I've never said the stories of my tattoos.
No.
So I got a cross when I was 16, and I had a really strict Greek mother, and she would always tell me, if you ever get a tattoo, I'm beating the shit out of you. So what I did was I got a cross with her initials in it.
Oh, that's a dick move. Yeah.
So when I showed up, she was like, I want to kill you, but it's sweet, you know? So like, but the thing is I outgrew it and it moved a bit. And what I did was I did the Greek key second, and then I put molon lave, which means come and get it. Come and get them.
He's talking to various men that come around.
Like
come and get this ass.
Come and get this dick.
Come and get this dick.
Come and get it. What is the meaning behind it?
It was when the Persians had asked for the Spartans to lay down their weapons.
Okay.
Just give us your weapons, give up, and we're going to go easy on you. And so you want our weapons, come and get them.
Molon lave.
Yeah. The only way you're getting them is off our fucking dead bodies.
And then I filled it up with I filled it up with Michelangelo. I think it's Michelangelo. The
Ninja Turtle.
No, no, Michelangelo, the Archangel Michael.
Oh, okay. That's a big difference. So there's an angel. He's got an orange bandana.
No, you know from the painting where he's holding a spear and he's killing a dragon, but this time he's holding up a shield. And it's kind of like because the cross has my mom's initials, so she's like watched over and there's that.
Okay.
So
and all of that on your bicep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's big.
And a bit of my shoulder.
Okay.
And there's clouds and shit.
Okay.
Not shit, but just clouds.
Were you okay? So in the process, when he was when you were going through with it at 16, in your mind,
no, 16, 19, and then 20, 21.
But your first
20.
tattoo, were you like, oh fuck my? Was there any point where you're like, oh, I'm regretting this right now
No.
as he's doing it? No.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No, when I got my tattoo, it wasn't regretting it. It's
if I get something stupid, like I don't know, like a cartoon, like I don't know, I get a fucking Pikachu or something.
I was saying for the beating, where you're like, oh, my mom is actually gonna beat the shit out of me.
I thought she was actually gonna beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, obviously, old school.
Yeah,
like, they're gonna fix. Like I always wanted to have. I like sleeves.
Okay, yeah.
I want to get full
sleeves.
sleeves.
Are nice.
But I used to work 9 to 5, right? So it was gonna be difficult for me to find work. I was like, I gotta get in a field where I can get sleeves. Now. I'm in a field I can get sleeves. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
You can do whatever the fuck you want now.
Are
Now
you
you're a free bird, baby.
Do it or you're not sure?
No, because maybe but it has to be because I want if it's on me, I want it to have like a very important meaning to me.
Okay.
I can't just get like I like the Ninja Turtles, but I wouldn't get a fucking Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though there's some like I got friends who have comic book tattoos and they're fucking pristine.
Okay.
But I don't want that because right now the only tattoo I have is for my sister that passed away.
Okay.
So, they have to have important meaning to me.
And it's difficult to find a sleeve that
has meaning.
A to Z has meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to really want a tattoo, but then my mom and my dad, it was no way. And I outgrew it. At this point, I'm like, oh, whether I have one or I don't have one. So you need to find something that you're like, okay, you know what? I'm set. Like this, the tattoo that you have on your wrist has a lot of meaning for me.
Exactly. So it's not something that it's like I'm gonna regret later. Like
but the sleeves are sick.
Sleeves are. If you have a good good tattoo artist, you have a good sleeve.
Yeah.
My brother got the dumbest shit on his chest up here.
His name?
Greek S. A Greek S.
For what?
You know the capital S? You know how it's written?
Like the
Sigma.
S?
Sigma.
Sigma?
Sigma?
For what?
Because a
Sperm?
rapper had it.
Sperm, is that what?
No, who was it? XXX Tentations had that same tattoo.
He's his role
Get the
model.
fuck
So
out
my brother's
here.
like, I thought it was cool. And I looked at him and like, you're a fucking donkey.
How old is he?
He's 19 now.
Oh,
I
fuck,
thought it was
man.
cool. Tell him, yeah, you thought it was cool. Did you know that XXX whatever the fuck his name is dead now? Is that where you want to end up?
You want to be dead?
You want to be dead now?
It looks nice.
What's his name?
It's just Dionisi.
So it's not even his initial.
No.
He has another
Just
man's initial on his.
Basically. Look, don't get me wrong. It looks nice. It's just an ass like that up there.
Yeah, but it's just random.
I mean, like, yeah, it's random. It's like, why? But why?
Tell him to put fag on his shoulders in the back. FAG. Right
Tell
there.
him that.
Like, I want to do a big, like, I want to continue my sleeve. I want to do a big, like, Poseidon tattoo. He's holding a trident, and there's sharks and shit, and there's an anchor over here, and it looks like a piece of armor and shit. Like, I want it to look fucking nice, because...
But I feel like in this day and age, it's not that much. We're not in a time where if someone sees you with a tattoo, they're blocking off opportunities for you. It's not that.
No, not anymore.
It's not like that.
Well, because it used to be reserved for criminals and sailors, I think. That's all it was.
Sailors.
Yeah.
It's pretty specific. Are you thinking about Popeye, bro? He's got an anchor on his muscle.
And
every
the army.
documentary I've seen.
And military. And military. Military.
Well, it wasn't
personnel.
reserved. Anybody could have them. It's just that people were more conservative back then about this kind of shit.
Yeah.
So, same thing with heavy metal. In the 80s, you could talk to people that grew up at that time when heavy metal was peaking, when they wear heavy metal shirts and dress in the heavy metal fashion. Priests and stuff would think that they're demonic. I know guys here, they're older than me. Like if you talk to John, they'll tell you that it was... they'd see priests in the street and they'd be like, you fucking kids, you're falling for the devil's traps. And they would think that they're satanic.
Yeah. Well, Elvis, when he started out.
Just his pelvic muscles.
And come to think of it, metalheads are some of the most peaceful people on the planet.
Yeah, now you see that. But back in the day, because they didn't know any better.
It's
how
true.
it is.
It's true,
how
yeah.
it is. You gotta, you grow into things, understand they're new, it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
You know, but just look at media. Just media. People that control media, like look at here in Quebec. Now they're scared. But in the beginning, when podcasts are coming, this and that, they're like, "What? This is nuts. This is stupid. What is this? What's the internet? The fucking internet. That's dumb. We're not gonna go on the internet." And then now they're like, "Holy shit, we gotta get our shit together. We're gonna get the internet."
We're 15 years late.
Yeah. They're fucking late here.
In Quebec, it's horrible compared to even media in the States in Quebec. I feel like they won't even podcasting.
There's so
know
little. That's why
comics.
Mike controls the media here in Quebec.
Honestly,
he's got more eyes
he's
than
got
anyone.
more eyes than anyone. And Mike started that podcasting wave now. And even then, a lot of big comics have had the opportunity to start podcasts for so long, and they've just been pushing it off. And it's just now after Mike just plowing podcasting, and people are like, "Oh, you can make money off of this.
Yeah.
You have a direct contact with your viewers, with people that buy tickets. It's like an added value to the people that want to follow you and want to support you." That's when they're like, "Oh fuck, maybe I should start the podcast." And now you're seeing François Bellefeuille, and now you're seeing
Bellefeuille is doing very good, by the way. His podcast is killing it.
Yeah, and he's just released another one. I don't know if you saw it at Bordel, le lineup.
No, it's a
like-
podcast.
It's a podcast that they're doing at the Bordel. I don't know if they do it every night.
Bellefeuille has been in the past 2-3 weeks, I think, number 3 and number 2 on iTunes.
That's cool.
Yeah,
He uses the Bordel studio.
very proud of him. Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
The Bordel Studio was built for 2 drink minimum, Vous écoute, Bellefeuille's, and for anybody else there that wants to start their own.
Wait, vous écoute? You mean sous écoute?
No, Vous écoute.
Which is like a studio version of...
So, Vous écoute is the podcast that Mike does with John Thomas Jobin. You know Jobin? Jean Thomas? He's a fucking super nice guy.
Probably.
Funny too. So he does that one. So he does that one on Mondays, I think, or Wednesdays. I'm not sure. 2 drink minimum is Tuesdays, and we come out on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
But that's the sickest. My studio here is sick, but it doesn't compare to that one. That one's a fucking $50,000 studio.
State-of-the-art,
The cameras are
everything.
state of the art. They're fucking, and there's like 16 cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're doing something called Le Lineup, which is during the shows at Le Bordel, comics that are walking in and out of the green room.
Oh, that's fun.
Sit down with Etienne Dano.
Is it a fun show? That sounds fucking fun.
I think they just started it this week. I think this week was the first episode, and I think they're going to start doing it weekly. It's cool, though, because there's 3 shows. They can sit down, in and out.
Different
people are coming
comics,
in, different
yeah.
comics, talk about their material, their process, and you can get 5 different perspectives.
I like that.
And I feel like it's cool that Mike implemented this, and this is what we needed in the scene right now. It's to elevate everybody, and it's
Here
production
it's-
quality to a whole nother level right now.
Here, everyone's
And
still,
it's
even he knows when I started my podcast 10 years ago. We started podcasting more now.
10 years ago.
Yeah, I started almost. I started podcasting. No more.
2000.
2010 and
2009,
2010 around there. I did.
So 9 years.
Yeah, it's still a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For podcasting?
For podcasting, yeah, it was in Montreal. At least it was very early. And always people are like, "You guys are wasting your time. This is dumb. There's nothing that's gonna come of it." And even right before 2 drink minimum, right before we got on Compound Media, right before 2 drink minimum ever happened, right before I met Mike, people were telling me how dumb it was and I'm wasting my time and there's no money in podcasting. And then now, which is funny, is that I have people who used to talk shit and be like, "It's stupid. You're wasting your time." Now they're like, "How do I start a podcast? How do I start a podcast?" And it wasn't people that supported. It was people that said, this is a dumb idea. You're wasting your time. So now those people, go fuck yourself. But the people that supported, they're the ones that I'm like, okay, this is what you're going to do. And I help them with like, you know, how to get the show on iTunes, what equipment to get and this and that. But the people that were like, you're dumb, you're wasting your time, everything they said about comedy too.
Did you start podcasting before comedy?
Yeah. I started podcasting in 2010. I started doing stand-up in 2012.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So even stand-up, I moved up way quicker than I should have, way quicker than most people do. I mean, 7 years to get where I am now, that's fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like fast to a lot of people, like 7 years.
In Montreal, it is.
Most places it's fast. In a decade, sometimes people are like, oh, I'm lucky if I get something running, something up the ground.
The industry is so different and especially Quebec than it is in the States.
It's slower.
In the States, it is slower, but in the sense that
you could get discovered because there's so many.
You can get discovered, but there's this understanding in the States that nothing happens before 10 years.
Yeah.
You're a feature act on the road.
Exactly.
You do open mics, or shit grumpies, open mics here, and these small open mics that you have to grind out, you do them for 3, 4, 5 years, and then maybe after 5 years you get a feature spot, and then maybe you start hosting. Whereas
we have my own tour, headlining, Just for Laughs, Joe Rogan, my own podcast, fucking Tuchik Minimum, all that in 7 years.
Man, there's
that's
been
fucking fast, bro.
15 years and not even.
It's fucking fast.
Especially in Montreal for English comics.
Yeah, that's why I understand it. That's why I don't take it for granted, because I know that it's impossible, right? But who do you think was gonna do it? Some fucking guy from Park X, bro. That's how it works.
Great guy from Park X.
That's how it works.
I'm from Park X, bro.
Yeah, that's the shirt I was wearing when I went to Joe Rogan. I was wearing my I'm from Park X, bro shirt.
Imagine fucking repping Park X on Joe Rogan.
I had to, because no one else.
You did.
Because in my head that's what I thought of. I go,
crazy.
no one else, like it's. I can't. I'm gonna expect someone else. It's so hard that I'm even here. It's so impossible. So I go, fuck it. I'm wearing my I'm from Park X, bro shirt. They're just to. It was just like a wink to everybody. Like, I'm fucking we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
You know, same thing. Like I always feel like I have. That's the other thing that pushes me is that now I feel, because before when I was like open mics, I felt like it was just me. It was personal. It was me exploring the art of stand up that I loved. You know. The second I started to get known a bit, the second I started to go to the States with all that shit, then I felt like I had more pressure on me, because now I'm not representing myself anymore. Now I represent everything I talk about. So now I'm representing Greeks, right? So Greeks, look, Montrealers, people from people. They're like, 100%. You're representing us now. You can't fuck around, you know. Park X, all these different other people who are like, okay, now don't embarrass. Now we're proud of you. Don't fuck this up for us. So now the pressure's a bit more, you know, because I feel like there's a lot of other people that you don't want to let down. You know what I mean? Like when we go to New York, when I'm in Texas, I think in my head, people from Quebec that are watching it, the whole province, you know, they're like, oh fuck, that's one of our guys. People from Park X, Greeks, Montrealers, people in Toronto, because it's Canada, Canadians are like, that's our guy. You know, you don't want to let them down. You don't want to be like, fuck. You know, it's like when you're watching favorite sports team and they miss or something. You know, I don't want to give them that feeling. So then it always adds pressure. I'm like, oh fuck, now there's a lot more people. There's a lot. So that's kind of mind fucking. That screws with me sometimes. Like I'll think about it. I go, oh fuck, you're not alone anymore, bro.
But it motivates you to work harder also.
It motivates you. Plus it also stops you from doing stupid shit. Like it stops you because I don't want to misrepresent.
Yeah.
He knows. I taught him to now too when he's out to calm down a bit sometimes, like in public.
You've toned it down now?
He has toned it down, yeah. Especially in public settings, yeah. Because I told him you're in the public now.
Yeah.
So if someone, let's say you're having an off day, you're going to buy something, somebody says the wrong thing, you tell them to go fuck themselves. And they're like, yeah, Poseidon from 2 Drink Minimum came here, and that fucking asshole from Park X told me to go fuck myself because I got his order wrong.
It tarnishes the image of the whole thing.
This guy's an asshole. Greeks or whatever, Park Xers are assholes. That's how you're going to, you have no choice. That's how and then you fuck it up for everyone.
Yeah.
So now, you know, it's a bit more responsibility, which not role model wise, like I don't give a shit, like your kids shouldn't be watching me.
But
it's just, there's a lot of people now who support you, who care about you, who you don't want to let down.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to let them down because I care about these people back. Say all of, like, Quebecers are happy when, like, we went on Joe Rogan. People that never met me, French Quebecois, were like, oh, now it's George St. Pierre, Pantelis, Mike Ward that are like all that stuff. So that means that they have they're invested in you.
Yeah.
You can't let people. It's very hard to gain people's trust and to have them care about you and want to support you. You can't fuck them over.
And you, especially in this market, because even on the Joe Rogan podcast, if I found your episode recently after going through your website, the first 400 comments are in French.
Yeah.
It's people commenting in French. So you're like, fuck, there's this people are so thirsty for content, local content, and they can't get it anywhere. And that's where you guys have been stepping it up with 2 Drink Minimum and with your podcast here and the fucking lives. It's all about being consistent, and you're giving out this material. And they're like, oh, fuck, we have people that we can support.
Yeah, locally that are making it internationally. Yeah. I have people from like Greeks from Toronto, people from Alberta, people who are not Greek, just Canadians. Like, oh, fucking Canadian guys are doing something. Yeah. Park X, a lot of people from Park X who mess with like, fucking right, bro, I'm proud of you doing this. So there's all kinds of people who support you and they want you to do well from everywhere, all across the country, all across the province. You don't want to let them down, you know? So oftentimes when I'm in New York, like, I think about it. I go like, I have to bring my A game. Because I'm representing a lot of people now. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, that's what happens. You cross a certain point where you can't be selfish anymore. You cross a certain point where you're like, if you decide to phone it in, if you decide to be lazy, you're going to fuck it up for the next guy. If I go to New York and I decide one night that the shows that we're doing in May, we're gonna announce it soon, but we're gonna be at the New York Comedy Club in May. So if I go there and I decide I'm fucking lazy, I'm gonna phone it in, okay? And the people there don't enjoy it. Like, what the fuck? This guy's supposed to be good. This guy sucked, you know? I don't just ruin it for myself or Tujan. I also ruin it for Montreal comedians who want to book a spot there or something. And they're like, nah, we had a Montrealer who apparently is good, and you fucking shit that, you know? You whether you like it or not, you fuck it up for the next guy. Yeah. You can't anymore. Brother, you have a responsibility now. You wanted to go this far. Now you have to understand that whether you like it or not, you have a fucking responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Thank you. Yes, Uncle Ben.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. So that kind of mind fucks you. But it also motivates you because now I always want to do better. I always want to do better because I'm like, nah, I can't let people down. down. So I think it helps in one way. It depends how you take it. Or you could become really depressed and scared. Or it motivates me. It fucks with me, but it motivates me. Like I want to...
Yeah, I feel like you need this sort of pressure on you to be able to bring you up.
Yeah, the pressure does good wonders for me. Yeah. It's better if I know that it's not just for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you would ever go to Quebec City one day and people would start recognizing you?
Poseidon?
Me? No.
Not for anything that's not rape related.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. It's been wild, bro. It's been wild. 2019 has been wild.
Are you liking the?
I'm loving
the podcasting game. Yeah.
I've never been happier in my life.
He sent me
that's great.
He's done wonders for me, by the way. Yeah. Like perfect, like older brother, father figure.
I hate you.
Older brother, father figure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to explain it in my own fucked up words, but like he came into my life at the perfect.
How long have you guys known each other for?
8 months.
6 years.
5, 6 years. I found him on the street. He
was
shooting at a truck.
I threw the kid a bone. I threw the kid a bone, hey.
I like the way you shoot, boy.
Yeah, he's taught me a lot.
Fuck, I'm not a role model. But I take care of you. I fuck with him, but I take care of him. He's not a bad kid. He's a good guy.
Yeah. I try my best.
Yeah, but he's definitely in a weird position too because he kind of got thrown into this. Yeah. So
you forced him basically?
No, it's
no.
Man, it's kind of like I don't know. It's weird. Like I laugh with him because he's goofy and he leads a goofy life and it makes me laugh. And then when me and Mike were doing 2 Drink Minimum in the beginning, it was interview based show. And at first we were getting comments that apart from specific guests, certain people enjoyed it more when it was just me and Mike shooting the shit. They preferred that. And some guests, it couldn't match up. Like me and Mike are always on the same level. So the jokes are coming and we know where the other one's going. It's very weird. Like the way me and Mike, it's strange because it's as if we grew up together, but we didn't. Okay. I know Mike less than Poseidon, but it's as if I know him my whole life. So, but that's something you can't that's either you find someone like that or you don't.
It clicks.
It clicks or it clicks. So we have that. So then when Mike was like, fuck, man, it's not really working with too many. We can't depend on guests because, first of all, we're in Montreal, so we're going to run out of comics. Yeah. You know, that was the mistake I did with Pantelis Podcast at first. Yeah. You know, because then you run out of guests. So and then I told him, I go, well, I have a buddy. I go, he's a fucking weirdo. He's a local weirdo, but we could bring him on. He has a crippling addiction to prostitutes. He doesn't mind talking about it. He'll talk about his trips and stuff. I think it'll be fun. It'll add to us. We'll fuck with him. You know, he's cool. He's from Park X, and we all bust each other's balls in Park X. So he's gonna be cool with it. People bust my balls. It's just how we are. So he's like, "Are you sure?" I go, "Yeah, we could bully him to like a fucking illegal level." And so we brought him on.
And I won't sue.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine you're just filing documents. You've been recording for 3 years. Bro, as soon as Mike Ward
you come over, you open a drawer. You open a drawer, just...
Well, there's video evidence. We paid him to shit himself, so he made $2,000 shitting his pants.
Bro, easiest money I've ever made in my life.
So we brought him on, and Mike saw that it started to work. He's like, "Fuck, it works a bit." We're just like, "Fuck, it does, yeah." And then he would come one episode, not another one. We have a guest, whatever this and that, and then he just became part of the show. Like he became the third mic. So then there was comics in the city who were like, I find that weird because like I'm a comic. Why don't you get me as the third mic instead of him?
Because not as entertaining.
You're not as entertaining, and also it clicks. It's weird. Like the relationship. First of all, some people got offended. If you look back, I'm not going to name names, but some people got offended at certain episodes when they were guests, and we weren't even making fun of them. We were making fun of a topic. And they got really fucking weird about it.
They got offended because they felt like it was directed towards them?
No, they just got offended.
The topic was becoming
too heated for them, right? So, and me and Mike would never stop. We might just go on another level and stuff.
It's hilarious because there's always this 2 seconds of Mike thinking or you thinking, or even Poseidon thinking like, am I going to say this? I'm going to say this.
Yeah. And then if you get the three of us in the room because he can't think, so he might say it. Or me and Mike, all we think about is what's the best way to say it so we really piss people off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So then we introduced Poseidon to the mix, and at first people hated him.
No.
At first, people were commenting, "Get this fucking retard out of here! Why is he on the show? Why is he on the show? Why is he on the show?" Because at first, people didn't get it. They didn't get what we were trying to do with him, right? And then they started to realize that he's not a character. Like it really is him. At first, they thought maybe he was embellishing, right? Then they realized this fucking guy is him. He is who he is.
Yeah.
So then people started to comment and be like, "Wait a second, he's part of the Whack Pack. This is like Howard Stern all over again, and they're building a fucking Whack Pack that's led by Poseidon." You know, like Poseidon's the first one in this Whack Pack. And then that's when we realized, okay, now people are clicking. It's clicking that they see. So we brought a couple of other weirdos on. We would interview them. We'd have like, and no one would top Poseidon, but it was still fun to have two weirdos in the room asking each other weird questions. And then it just grew to, it's our show. We could bring in whoever we want, whenever we want. We have a third mic because you always need that third mic to help, alleviate the, the seriousness or just to change topics. And it helps as Poseidon because he's not a comedian. His agenda is not driven in anything. It doesn't give a fuck. He's just a weird guy who says weird things, lives a weird lifestyle, and you get to experience life through him. You get to experience his life. So it adds to it. Because we can't just talk about stand-up all the time, me and Mike.
No, of course not. And that's not the point neither. We want
to fuck around.
If I'm listening to a comedian's podcast, I'm not... Yeah, of course, it's cool to have his input on the comedy and on his work ethic and whatever, but I love, let's say, listening to a comic who goes off on a tangent of how he got beaten as a kid by his father, and then he started doing drugs at that age. One of my favorite podcasts is The Church of What's Happening Now,
of course,
by Joey Diaz. Yeah. His drug stories are what brings me in, and you guys, I feel like, especially that you've been doing it for so long now, like if Joey Diaz dies tomorrow, I feel a void in my life. Now there's the Monday mornings are fucked for a couple of weeks for me because so now you created the same relationship with the audience where even if fucking Poseidon is missing for 2 weeks, I'm sure after the third week people are like, where the fuck is Poseidon?
Well, that's what happened to us with the shots initially, right? Because we didn't know how to do the free episodes. We're like, do we give people free episodes? What do we do? And then the shots, people found they were too short. So then what happened is when the shots got longer and they were consistent, you couldn't pull it away. If we didn't have a shot that week, it would cause problems. People were like, what's going on? I was waiting for an episode on Wednesday. Yeah. So then we realized that and we're like, fuck, what do we do? And then we're like, can we just have this experiment where we're on Compound, everything's there, the archive, but we release our episodes early for free. And if people like it, they can subscribe to get all the archive, all that, and they get to enjoy. I think it'll catch on. And it did. It caught on. But now we have the issue where we can't go back. We can't release less episodes because now it's part of people's routines. I have people that will meet at shows and they'll be like, I hope you know that your voice is part of my life now. Like I'll listen to you on Sundays on the Pantelis Live, and then fucking every Wednesday after lunch, I put you guys on.
That's nuts.
So, and I understand it because I have podcasts that I listen to. That same thing. I have specific times where I'll have them on. I'll listen to them. It's part of my routine. Yeah. So I get that. So now we can't go back. So that's why
you're fucked. That's pretty much
now we're fucked. Now
both of you are fucked. Now,
yeah, it keeps growing, but it's fun. Dude, this is supposed to be podcasting. Was supposed to be a way of like circumventing the system, getting your opinions out there without going through the proper channels. Because it used to be,
getting rid of the middleman.
Yeah, media was very controlled, and then that's why people couldn't say what they wanted. They couldn't talk truth. Or now, fuck that. You say your real feelings. You are who you are, and then people who like that will gravitate towards you, and it builds the best ecosystem.
That's funny. And you can see it. Even the people that are coming out to the shows there.
I love these people.
They're there to fucking watch you do stand-up because they know they've known who you are now for, let's say, the past 2-3 years, how long you've been doing 2 Drink Minimum, and they're there to support your art form, and people are coming back because what you're delivering is quality content also. So even this podcast, you're talking for an hour and a half, let's say 2 hours, 2-3 times a week. Some material is going to come out of it.
Yeah, for sure. And
some material is going to come out of it.
And people, when they come, they'll sometimes there's certain material that comes from a podcast episode that we talked about, and then I'll be able to develop that. And then on stage, I'll have a bit about it, or we'll reference it. And then people like that after talk to you, like, oh, I remember the episode when you, because I'll talk about it and they go, I remember when that really happened. I was there. I listened to it when it was birthed. And that kind of shit, you can't, how do you buy that? You can't buy that. That's something that if this didn't exist, it can never happen.
No, of course
There's something magical about it almost.
There's something, that's what it's just, you turn everything weird, you. I guess if we sum it all up, point is, the podcasting changed the game up for a lot of us. For comics, it was a great window for people to see who we are and to learn about us, and then they'll be willing to pay money to come see us on tour. It grew into something more because now you build these friendships. Like I have people that we met through the podcast. Like look at Tara, for example. Tara became one of our friends. She was started from Compound. She liked Mike's podcast, came over. And I'm just using her as an example because it's just the first thing that came in my head. Yeah. But there's all kinds of people that just became I know that they're going to be at a show, or they're going to come to a show, they're going to buy tickets, and it's going to be a fun time. After the show, you get to hang out and talk. Like, you like these people. You know, they become part of the... And they're like-minded. They already like your humor. So... It's crazy. And then it's part of the routine, just like it's part of your routine. Like, oh, at this show, I know this person's going to be there. I got to take a photo. I got to do this part of my routine. Your podcast is part of their routine. Just like you're expecting them. You're like, oh, I'm expecting them. I want to tell them about this and this happened. They're expecting you. Like, fuck, Sunday, Friday, whenever the fuck the show is, I'm expecting it because it's part of my fucking routine. I'm going to have to listen to it and get an update. So it is interesting what podcasts have done. And I motivate comics to create something online, whether it's a podcast or like I see Oren now, he's doing a show about eating candy. Yeah. I shared it on my page so people can see it.
Who?
Oren Shapiro. You know Oren. I'll show you. You know Oren. He's a super nice guy.
Orange?
Oren.
Oren
Shapiro.
Oh, okay.
It's a Jewish name. Oren Shapiro. Anyways, Oren's a good dude.
I'm sorry.
So he started...
I heard 8 different names.
He started putting up videos of like comedians trying different kinds of candy and fucking around and all that. So it's fun. Like I watched, I had fun with it. And it's fun to see him grow. And where is it going to be in 1 year if he continues? It might be something else completely, right? But he's starting, and then you know what's going to happen? Someone's going to see him through another video and be like, "Oh fuck, I'm in Montreal. Let me go see this motherfucker. His video made me laugh." Yeah. Massimo told me a good story. Before we leave, I guess I'll tell you this. You know this. We're talking about Toronto and tickets and all that, and we're talking about social media. And I was talking about how podcasts help and videos, and he told me that. So he had went to Toronto once, and he wanted to produce a show independently. Because he could get booked at the clubs, he was headlining, but he wanted to produce one independently. I think he went, and it wasn't super big turnout. He got a couple people. It was nothing crazy. Then he started doing those videos online. You know those videos he does with his dog and just fucks around? Yeah. And then he filled up the same venue. He filled it up the year later when he went, and all kinds of people were coming up to him. Never seen him do stand-up. Didn't know he does stand-up until he announced a show in their city. But they're like, we watch your videos online. We like it, so we came out to support you.
It's important, man.
It's so important. This is our billboard. This is our advertising now. Where else are you going to see what you're going to put a commercial? Like what? This is the best commercial. Is people seeing you speak. Yeah. Like, I like this guy's opinion. I think I'm going to like his comedy.
And then once they buy the tickets, you have to step up.
Oh, you got to step up the game. But I don't think that's a fucking problem right now, bro. So, Emile Khoury. They're going to find you on Instagram at Emile Khoury.
Yes.
But on Twitter, you're Emile Khoury Live.
Yes.
See, me, I know these things. Yes. Haboobs and laluz.com. It's all in the description. In the description, it has your website. It has everything there. So people could come find Emile Khoury. Emile Khoury, who is in charge of my current tour. So if you have a problem, you could be mad at him. All right?
But you have to go through Poseidon first. So there's that.
So my tour is ongoing. Emile is working on new dates around Canada right now. There's a couple of cities that I'm very excited to go to. So hopefully that works out. That'll be fun. Plus, we're going to announce, if you watch 2 Drink Minimum, we're going to announce the show soon. I could already tell you about it. It's already booked. It's just we're waiting to get the post and all that up. Me, Mike Ward, Aaron Berg, and Gino Bisconte are going to be, I believe, the weekend of May 1st. 2 shows in New York at the new... I'm not going to say which club because it's between 2 clubs right now. I think they're negotiating. So yeah, it's going to be an 8 and like a 10 p.m. show. 2 shows. It's going to be fucking stand-up. It's going to be great because the 4 of us, That's people writing letters to the
Pure
club.
fire.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Letters. Do people still write letters?
It's the Waterhead show. It's the 2 Waterhead shows.
Yeah.
Turkic minimum in hot water. Yeah. So.
So cold water and hot water are gonna meet, and it's gonna become a fucking
we've
hurricane.
We've met, and it's always been like we had because all 4 of us got to take the stage when we were at the compound show in Governors, Long Island,
Which I heard you killed. You and Mike,
yeah, me and Mike. But everybody killed. But the reason why they say I killed is because they hadn't seen me do stand up, so it was more of a surprise. Because they're like, oh fuck, Pantelis does stand up, and then they're like, holy shit, he came prepared. But that's why it just seemed. But everybody did well. And Aaron's a killer. Gino's and Mike, obviously,
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a crazy show in New York. So that's gonna be the first weekend of May. The second I get official confirmation, I'll share it, ticket links, all that. Because especially tickets there, I don't think they're expensive either, like $20 something. So they're gonna go fast. So yeah, I'll let people know about that. Emile, are you producing another Haboob show now, or is it just focused on my tour?
We're focusing on the tour for now. The next Haboob show will be announced next year for 2020. We're probably gonna have something around March.
Okay.
And yeah, we're back with a weekly show next year. Also working on a couple of stuff for next year.
Okay.
So,
And I'm gonna be here on Sunday for Pantelis Live. I'll be here, well, not on this channel, but Tuesday we go live with 2 Drink Minimum. Wednesday it's up everywhere. Poseidon, where are they gonna find you?
In an alleyway near you, probably getting a blowjob from a dirty street hooker.
Okay, so Poseidon's gonna be doing heroin in an alley near you.
Who said heroin?
Oh, I said heroin.
Bro.
So-
I can look crack.
And I'll be back here on Friday with a very interesting guest I'm gonna have next week. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but it's gonna be a little later. Next week I'm gonna go live at 6 p.m. because my guest she has to get here, so it's gonna be 6 p.m. So I'll see you all. Thank you for fucking watching. Go fuck yourselves.
She,
buddy.